Hey, this is Daniel from Cult of Lilith, and you're listening to The Dan Chan Show on Hard Rock Hell Radio.
I'm joined by Daniel from Cult of Lilith. Hey man, how are things?
Hey, things are great, man. How are you?
Yeah, very well here. Very hot here. What's the weather like in Iceland?
It's pretty good these days, actually. It's starting to get maybe a little more rainy and cold.
Well, it's four seasons in one day in Iceland, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be for sure.
Now I spoke with Gunnar from Una Misere a couple of weeks ago, and apparently they're playing shows, and they had a pretty easy lockdown. Has it been all right for you? Have you been playing any gigs?
We have not, but we have a gig planned in September. I went to one show from them. It was great. Yeah, to get some music live again was a great experience. I know Gunnar, and those guys are awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. Is it unusual to see shows and with kind of some kind of social distancing?
Well, I hadn't gone to a concert for a while, so just getting that kind of straight to the face that. It was great.
Well, the last gig I went to in Barcelona, it was Testament and Death Angel and Exodus, and that's where I got COVID.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
shit.
Because all those three bands went back to the States, all got it, and about a week later I came down with it. So I was like, oh, this is great. Chuck Billy gave me COVID. Should get a T-shirt done. So let's go back to it. So you're a relatively new band, bringing your progressive death metal to the world. You released an EP back in 2016 called Arcanum. Is that right? Arcanum?
Arcanum, yeah, something like that.
And you've just released new single Cosmic Maelstrom, and then Purple Tide last week, which I've been playing on here, and the new album Mara is out in September. So just tell me a little bit about the beginnings of the band and how you chose the musical route you have.
Okay, so playing music like this is a very kind of niche genre, really, and a mix of things. It's hard to find other musicians that want to take part in that journey or are ambitious enough to take on a project like this. So I think it's hard anywhere, and especially in Iceland, being an isolated island, it's hard to find other people to get on board. So I decided to release an EP by myself, where I just hired a session studio drummer and got a vocalist involved and released that. And as soon as I did that, I started to get some more attention, making a showcase for what I wanted to do with the project.
Yeah.
And the ball just started rolling after that. People were taking interest, and I finally got some other musicians on board. And the final member joining in 2018 was a Spanish vocalist named Mario, who moved to the country recently.
Great.
And so, yeah, that's where we got the full lineup.
So explain your sound. I've read necromechanical baroque. We're talking all different kind of sounds here, like progressive death metal. What would you class yourself as?
Yeah, that's the thing.
Or do you not like genres? I know musicians don't like genres.
This always becomes kind of like an argument between people, like, oh, they're this, they're that. And so we just kind of want to leave that to the fans to decide what we are to them, But I guess I would consider us just to be extreme metal, you know, but we try to draw inspiration from anything that piques our interest, regardless of genre. So we really don't want to be limited to anything and put ourselves in a box. So we thought that necromechanical baroque was just kind of a cool little tagline for it, because we draw a lot of inspiration from baroque and classical music and put it in this extreme metal package that's kind of mechanical death metal in the vein of like Decapitated or Meshuggah or something like that, that just feels like this mechanical death metal. And that's where the necromechanical came from. Also as like a visual element, it's kind of contrasting images of necromechanical and baroque type paintings. So we just thought it was an interesting mashup,
just like the t-shirts, true Norwegian black metal on the back of the t-shirts, it should be necromechanical baroque Icelandic metal on the back of your t-shirt. If you can fit it, that would be really cool.
Yeah, exactly, something like that. Yeah, it's a bit long. It's a mouthful, but yeah, something like that.
I love it. So I mean, who are you akin to band wise, and what are your influences personally to bring you to this place?
Yeah, there's a lot, but akin to some of the more modern stuff, I would say like Spawn of Possession, Necrophages, Revocation, Black Dahlia Murder, Martyr, Yeah, and with a little bit of maybe like Bach thrown in there, and lots of other things as well. There's some flamenco influence, and
I can hear that, especially on things like Cosmic Maelstrom with the is it the harpsichord at the beginning? You know.
Yeah, exactly, the harpsichord intro, and yep.
So do you like experimenting with instruments?
Yeah, I love it. I love different instruments and like trying to find ways to make them harmonious with each other, to add kind of a symphonic flair, or building layers upon layers, you know, like the intro of the last song, Les Soupirs de Fantôme. We were, the idea was to make like this kind of epic build-up in the intro of instruments layering upon each other, you know, as you go along.
Yeah, I see. So when you first started in 2016, you did the EP on your own. Has the writing process changed now you've got the full band and the recording? Is it better for you to have everyone around you, or do you still like to work solo?
I do work a lot solo, but it is definitely better to have a full band. It changes the way you think of things as well. Like you think more of how you can, you know, let each member shine. And I still wrote the majority of the album by myself, but there's still that group dynamic where we kind of iron things out, you know, like making the flow better, or bringing ideas here and there. Everybody has their little input, you know, so it definitely makes everything better in the end.
Yeah. So the name Cult of Lilith, where does it come from?
Okay, so I was thinking, many years ago, I was thinking of a name for a project. I wanted to do like a musical project like this for many years. And I always thought, you know, a cult was really cool. And, you know, imagery, being a big horror movie fan and liking occult things and macabre things, I gravitated towards that cult element. But it wasn't until later, just kind of reading through mythology, and I always wanted to do like a cult of some kind of evil goddess or something. And when I stumbled upon Lilith, she just seemed like the perfect candidate. Yeah. Being worthy of a cult worshipping her, you know, so just kind of fit together like that.
So with the album coming out in September, what can we expect from it? Obviously with the two singles that have come out from it, what can we, is it carrying on the same theme? Is there any surprises?
There's definitely surprises, yeah. We really wanted to make the album diverse, you know, have a lot of variety to it. Just not to become stagnant and kind of boring and samey throughout the thing. So we put a lot of emphasis on diversity and dynamics for this album. So we're definitely not revealing everything with just these two singles. And, you know, I think there's a little bit for a lot of people to like in this album.
Yeah. And the imagery to you guys is important. I mean, I particularly like the Victorian photo shoot you've done. And it has a ring of Rammstein about it a little bit. You know, everyone all dressed up, looking very posh, stood around a table kind of thing. Very cool. I mean, are you going to carry that through to the stage? Is that what's your live show like?
Yeah, we do. We wear those, what we call the cult attire. We wear that in live shows. And yeah, it's important to us, the image. And like you said, Rammstein, those guys are a great example to us of what is possible to do, to have like a visual theme with each album or each song or something. And they just have some great photo shoots and videos. And so those guys are a great example of that. But that was definitely the inspiration, was to have like Victorian London type thing. We thought that the cult image that the black metal scene is doing with these black robes it's very common today and kind of overdone, in my opinion. So we wanted to take another route with that, and we're thinking more, rich people behind the scenes in 1800s Victorian London or something like that, and kind of Akkerkokke is
Akkerkokke, I remember those guys.
Also, that we also kind of look up to regarding that. So.
Yeah, I can see that. And so, I mean, Icelandic metal, the scene is a very close-knit family, so I believe. And are you within that circle?
I definitely know a lot of people here in the scene. It's it's a small scene. I mean, it's relatively big, I guess, per capita, but it's just bands sharing a lot of different members, and it's a tight knit, and it's a cool scene here.
So is it you just got a Spanish singer, and the rest of you are Icelandic, right?
Yeah.
And how's he coping with the weather up there?
So he's from southern Spain.
Oh, it's even worse for him.
Oh, and just he talks about the heat just being unbearable there in the summer.
That must feel like the other side of the world to him, where he is now.
Yeah, it's another world for sure. I think he really enjoys living here. I mean, the weather kind of sucks in the winter, and there's a lot of darkness and cold and windy, but the summers are really nice, and we like to keep inside in the winter and get creative with writing music, for example, and we keep busy anyway, so...
So what's the plan now? I mean, I'm sure you can't wait to get off the island and get playing to the masses, right? When we're allowed to do it in the rest of the, especially Europe.
Yeah, for sure, man. So we're working with a booking agent, and we're checking our options, and hopefully there's nothing confirmed yet, but hopefully we'll get touring in... I think late 2020 is a bit optimistic, so I would say early 2021, hopefully, if everything works out and if they maybe find a vaccine for this, and hopefully the world will return to more normalcy in that time. So that's the plan, and maybe get on some festivals in 2021. So that's what we're hoping
cool.
for.
Who'd be your ideal touring partner?
Ooh.
That's just a random question, by the way.
Oh man, yeah.
Because you could go with anyone, couldn't you? Really?
I mean, Cannibal Corpse.
Oh yeah.
Revocation, Black Dahlia, or the Dimmuborgir. I would love to.
Oh yeah.
Igor is another one I'm really big on. I've been listening.
Igor's fantastic. He's fantastic.
Amazing. Yeah.
He's very talented, that guy.
Yeah, Gautier, yeah, he's awesome.
So, last but not least, and I asked Gunnar this one as well. So, I mean, I love Iceland, but I'm not necessarily the local cuisine fan of Icelandic. I mean, with you being Icelandic, are you a true Icelander? Are you a fan of Brennivin and Rotten Shark? Because I've tried it and it's rank. I told Gunnar that.
Yeah. I like shark. I do like fermented shark, and it goes really well with brennivin. It kind of neutralizes the cumin taste of brennivin, but I don't drink anymore, so brennivin is definitely not my thing anymore. But once in a while, I'll get some brennivin and also some soured ram's balls and all that good stuff.
No, the drinking thing, because Gunnar doesn't drink either. Is this an Icelandic thing, or is it because it's like very expensive to drink there?
I think, there's quite a bit of alcoholism here in Iceland, and people just go kind of crazy with alcohol here. It's very different from the culture in mainland Europe, where people drink wine with their dinner, and it's more kind of like casual. I don't really know how the whole thing is here these days. I quit drinking like when I was 25 years old, so it's like 8 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, people would go downtown and stay there till like 7 in the morning, and everybody's just going crazy and getting in fights and all this stuff. I'm sure it's not too different in Britain.
No, or even Barcelona, but it's still the same everywhere you go. Anyway, Daniel, I'm expecting big things for you guys, and good luck with the album. Good luck with the tour next year, whenever it happens, and take it easy.
Thank you.